Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome. 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 This morning I had a question or a suggestion from one of my viewers, and I thought I should do this video. Or I have a lot of people asking questions about what do I need as a SHS graduate or even under. First of all, there are many ways of traveling. The many means you can go to abroad with. Either you are visiting, either you are a student, or either you are coming on family sponsorship, either you are a tourist, either you are coming for a job that you yourself has applied while back home. So you can either come in as a student, visitor, family sponsorship, tourist, or come in as a worker. What do you need to bring with you when you're coming? I see a lot of people sponsored, many family members who are in this country. Men, for example, let's talk about age. You know, this country is structured. It is deliberate. It is intentional. They structure this country deliberately to benefit some people. They share, like me, been here for over 30 years. There are certain things I am eligible if I had gone through a process. It is legitimately for some people. You see, the worst thing is living in this part of the world for your whole life, 40 years, 45. And then when it's time to relax, claim retirement, they will tell you you only have $20 or $70, which you are required to pay rent $100. So let's talk about age. If you are coming after 30, you need your driver's license. You are sponsored, right? Even as a student, you need to ensure that you have a driver's license from the country you are coming from. Number one, identification you need to bring with you is driver's license. Your driver's license internationally, each country, whether bush or in this world, there are no bushes anymore. So every country, there are roads. And what do they use those roads with? A car. So internationally, everybody driver is recognized. So in Canada, let's say you're coming from Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, wherever, you need your driver's license, whichever class you have in your country, because driver's license is like a ticket on a road. You bring your driver's license, at least the least job or the minimum job that you can get in this country, because we live in a technology world, is a job that requires you to drive. And those jobs are in abundance. Listen, little kids are driving in this part of the world. When you bring your driver's license in Canada, they recognize you and you don't need to wait. If you don't have a driver's license, this is what we start. There may be a job that you could have gotten yourself into from the start. Let's say your wife brings you, your husband brings you here. There are so many so many things you can do with your driver's license. Even as a delivery person, you need your driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, my brother, you're going to have a very hard time getting a job. My sister, you're going to have a very hard time getting a job. Why? You are going to alleviate a certain burdens of the person you're coming to stay with if you have your driver's license, because if you don't, you have to start with G1. The G1, you will not be able to get your G2 for after 8 months. Canada wants you to have experience because lives matters in this part of the world. So you get your G1 is a written exam to learn about the rules of Canada. You have to wait for another 8 months before you can get G2. G2 is when you can drive by yourself or have a partner with you on a highway. A G1, you cannot drive by yourself. So if you had brought your driver's license, they convert it and automatically transfer you, write it, the exam, show that you know the driving rules. It's a book you can get to get yourself familiar with Canada or US rules. Canada, let me talk about Canada. Then you get yourself, once you pass it, you can book an exam to take your G right away. It is also good for an insurance because the insurance recognizes the class of your driver's license as a mature and experienced driver. It gets you a good deal because insurance in this country is an arm and a leg. So listen to me. The first thing you need to bring with you is your driver's license. If you're over the age of 30, my brother, what kind of job can you get? I will suggest that you get yourself something that you can cut your own check. Self-employment. If you're not a professional, you don't have a teaching certificate, a nurse, if you don't have a certificate as an electrician, a carpenter, a scientist, all those sciences. Do you understand? Where you can secure yourself a government job. If you're over the age of 30, 40, I would not recommend you working for even the Board of Education in this part of the world. Get your own business going. When you get your own business going, you cut your own check. You set your own hours. You also take advantage of the taxation system in this part of the world. If you're a carpenter, you can get yourself a van. Get your business register. You get your business register, you get yourself in a market where people can call you. If you're a plumber, register your business yourself. Don't go work for people. The small companies are going to hire you and cut your pay for you. When they're getting $175 per hour off your head, they are only paying you $30 for you instead of you taking the money yourself. And also, you drink. When you take a drink, what you do is you put it through the tax. If you go to a hotel, you claim. Everything you do now is going to claim. So you're your own boss. One thing it also gets you is that you get to control what your pension pay is going to be like. You're not going to be able to have strength at the age of 60 to do the same things that you do at the age of 30. People think they will not get to that age, but by the time they realize they are 60. And that is one thing that as an African, you've always been told your life is short, your life is short, your life is short. But then you don't realize that life is not that short. By the time you realize you are at the age of 60, the knee cannot hold anymore. The center cannot hold. It starts to jiggle. You don't have anything saved for you. But if you have your own business, let's say you are an electrician, you are a gas electrician or something like that. Instead of working, you have over 40 coming to this country. You're going to chase the traffic. Somebody is going to determine when you go for lunch. Somebody is going to determine when you go for break. No. Be your own boss. If you're over 50 and you're 40 and you come to another country, get into your own business. You're a business person, sell cars. You're a business person, sell water. You're a business person, give a service. You know how to talk. Get your own employment services. We don't have Ghanaian people don't have employment service in this part of the world. So you see how Canada is looking for employers now. You see how the Indians are taking advantage of that. The employment services within the other community are taking advantage of bringing their own people. Ghanaians don't know it because one person I contacted as an employment service to give people that have given them work up to today, the person has not been able to give them work. Because why? We are so satisfied with small. So if you know how to deal with people, open a service. If you're an accountant, open your own accounting firm. Ghanaians need some financial literacy in the system. Get yourself business. If you know farming, if you're coming from Ghana, you're a farmer. From Nigeria, you're a farmer. Get into farming. Getting a land in this part of the world, it's easy. Don't let anybody scare you. Getting a land, if you're a farmer coming from Ghana, you know about farming. Getting a land is the most lucrative. Of course, you cut your own tax. Also, there are certain tax breaks you have advantage of. There are certain things you don't have to buy. They give you a land. It is easier for you to be approved of a land, farmland, than being approved the mortgage for a house. Take that in your head. It is easier for you to be approved for a farmland than being approved buying a house in this part of the world. Why? Canada recognized that food shortages causes the government a lot. They are funding from many people to be fed, and therefore if you are taking on part of the government responsibility, they help you into getting that done. So people are asking, oh, what am I doing? Construction. There are people who set their own hours. They are their own contractors. If you get into a construction, you're not part of the union, you can make yourself $120 per hour with a construction company, or if you have some certification in how to call, like a former, you can make yourself a good money if you're not part of the union. If you are part of a union, it is around $60 per hour. If you are just an entry guy, it's about $40 something per hour in construction. My brothers and my sisters, listen, there are so many things you can do in this part of the world just being you. Do you understand? Asamoah, welcome. Is it Musali Capital, welcome. Yeboah, Emmanuel, welcome. Also, blue collar reigns in the West. Farming and construction are key. Have a mindset of a citizen, not refugee. Thank you. Have a mindset of a citizen. You see, the only reason why many of us are not seen in the mainstream is because we come as a refugee. Many people that comes here, by the time some of them, by the time they get here, houses are bought for them in their names. Ghanaians comes as a refugee, as someone who's coming to hustle. But I see a lot of potential for Ghanaians. But the thing is, we don't stick together. There are people who are looking, farming, listen, farming, you see those farmers, you see where they live. I've videoed a couple of them and I shown the condition they live under. It is very, very nice. You are a farmer. If you're a Ghanaian, you're a farmer. If you're Nigerian, you're a farmer. I don't know who's been told that Ghana, this is why we are poor, because we don't have sense. We don't have education about the things, the natural resources given to us. So I am enjoying this lecture. Yes. So if you're a woman, what kind of job can you do as a woman? I've never seen a poor hairdresser in this country. I've never seen a poor seamstress. All the seamstresses I know, Ghanaian seamstresses I know in this country as a tailor, they have their own houses. I've never seen a tailor who has their own papers, who are Canadian citizen or London immigrant or PR, who does not live in their own houses. They all have their own houses. The basement, when you go there, it is like a market. People are giving them this. People are giving every day. My auntie, the lady I sew my clothes, who sews my clothes, is an auntie who didn't even step a foot in a classroom in Ghana before she even came to this part of the world. She sews clothes. Those who came here and branched into designing, they make even bigger money. They live in their own houses, because in this part of the world, people are going out each and every day. There are Jamaicans who are selling our clothes. There are other people, other cultures who are sewing our clothes. Or see, the Mexicans and South Americans tapped into the multi-billion-dollar farming and construction industry in the West. It is huge. It is big. It is massive. Massive. You see, people that does pavement, does construction, most of them don't speak English. You go, most of them don't speak English. Those that fixes the schools, that fixes the the structures we see in this part, most of them don't speak in. They're brought from Cambodia, from all this part of the world, coming to do this part of job. So I don't know. And so again, the entry point, bring your driver's license. Okay, you can get yourself a nice day work as your student. Bring your driver's license. Student, if you're a guy over 30, bring your driver's license, or else you're gonna waste a year into 2 before you make yourself money. The factories only pays a minimum wage. Minimum wage is about $15. The highest you get paid is $17. If you had brought your driver's license as a student in this part of the world, you would have created your own job by doing door-to-door delivery. That's more money than working in a factory. It also gives you the liberty to, create your own, schedule your own time. As an Uber driver, some of them makes over $300 per day. So you get to pick what day, what hour you want to work. So all these things gives you a leverage. I see a lot of Ghanaian men strong, very, very strong. They come and then they dive into working for a factory, and they're over 40 years old. I wonder why. Have you thought about how many years are you going to work for somebody? You are just coming into this country. You don't have a land. These are the people that brings every dollar back to Ghana into the a fuomo with a very unstable economy like Ghana. You bring your money to Ghana instead of putting your money. Another investment, if you can work and put your money somewhere and buy a house, that is one of the things here that a lot of people has really gained a lot from. Buying a house in this part of the world. If there are 2 of you, my brothers and sisters, if you are coming with somebody, this is not the time to divorce. This time you don't separate. This is not the time to separate. Whether the person is a Kokunu or a Samrodre, please stick to that person. Trust me, you don't get married for a physical gains only. There are many spiritual reasons why we are supposed to get married, to be the provider that we are supposed to. This is not the time to come to Toronto one person. It doesn't work anymore. Hey, Titifono, we've been fooled to think that this part of the world, when you separate, you get more money. That is not true. They try to separate us. They try to break the black culture, our families. No, it doesn't work. That's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie. American dream is a lie. Reality is that you need to work, and you need to be 2. The law of 2, you can't break it. So many of you who think I'm coming, Obi de me baha, so I'm coming later, I will just separate from you. You're going to suffer for the rest of your life. If you don't have this brain like mine, eating the food I'm eating, my brother, my sister, you're going to be poor. And you're going to struggle, because as you're growing older and older, the children you think your children are going to leave you. They're not going to stay in your home. Nowadays, things are so expensive, and living in Toronto, and we are not people who adjust to different people with different areas. You see, especially Ghanaian. Let me talk about Ghanaians. You cannot adjust. Many people think they have money in this part of the world, like nurses. They can do overtime, like people with husbands who lives with, so they have 2 incomes in their home, and they think they don't want to live amongst Ghanaians. So I would say, I don't know the mindset they have, the bad behaviors. They don't want Ghanaians to witness it, so they move far. Their children are growing, trying to fit into a different culture that is not theirs. They grow up with lesser self-esteem. They don't get jobs. Those children are stuck in their homes. Those children will grow with you, and you are never going to, and they won't leave you because they don't fit in. They didn't gain that quality of that security, that self-esteem, that a thing that would allow them to survive outside. You didn't give it to them because you forced them to sort of fit into another culture, which was none. So try your best to stay within the people who you are familiar with, the culture you are familiar with, and your children will grow to gain that sense of security and the sense of also belonging and also the self-esteem. Because some people, Ghana for a while, some of them live in a small town, they are calm and da. But guess what? Your neighbor don't like you. So your children are forced to be with. So you see their children with Brazilian hair. You see their children with the big eyelashes. You see their children, they don't like themselves. If you really sit with these children and go into conversation with them, you will find that they're lacking something. They are not forthcoming. They are not assertive. They don't have what is needs to compete with the other people. So stick to your people. Yeah, bad. Yeah, sekuru konkonsa, but in konkonsa yesni or time. So what I say. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're coming at the after 40 and you have unhukenia, don't leave Ghana struggling where people are living in a jungle trying to survive by going to this man and going to this man. This country, we don't have time. We don't have time. Go to this man, go to that man. Such fake life is not here. This is real life. You are coming to actually possess your possession and also see what you are made of. So what you say, this is you. You are going to be the provider of yourself. You are going to be the manager. That's why many men cannot cope with the real women in this part of the world. They can't cope with them because that's when they see the real person actually, because a person is getting up early in the morning, going to work in the morning, comes back, get tired. Of course, they expect a man to do something for them. This man is stuck up to the old self of sitting in the couch and thinking, I'm a boss. So many men are stuck in their transition. They have not transitioned themselves into the real sense, the real life where kukuru na minsu yere no me yere na unsuwe kukuru na me o yere ne okuru okunu no. Many men are stuck to sitting in a couch and flipping away channels. So they are now scared of women who are now realizing themselves now. So that is what is bringing the breakup. But I'm just trying to encourage somebody here as a man. Try to embrace and you gain that power and also the knowledge and wisdom into learning about the new wife who is now you are with in Abrochi. My brothers and my sisters, there's more we can talk about on this issue because I find as we are getting lost. We are getting lost. So don't come at the age of 40 and go into the factory. Don't do that. And yes, I obetana okotoje, obetu enena okotoje kukuru. Menua peg business be and get yourself involved in. Uwo sikake tu ebi afabra wine. Na yemfa yenchrew. Na yemma financial way for ni bi. They will give you a good plan. Get yourself a house, buy the house in this part of the world, do a small business, provide services. Go door to door. If you have if you do your card as an accountant, provide people taxation time, provide people with service, and trust me, you'll be good. You'll be good. Self-awareness and self-empowerment. That's what we need as Africans. And trust me, listen, ye won kolagu imfiasi wokurumuha. We need people like Teacher Kofi or Kwadwo to open an organization where we can go or open halfway homes. We need Ghanaian, Ghanaian home-based shelters. We need Ghanaian also. I'm for me, I'm making you too late. Thank you, Prof. I said thank you, Prof. We need all those things. So if you have a way, get yourself involved. Open a shelter, open a home, be a way. These people, judging collaborate free parents who Ghana for they've apprehended a lot of children from their home, African home. We need a home. We need homes to put them in. Don't be too busy and selfish. Okay, you need a home. You have a good credit. You have a good way. Get yourself involved, and I'll talk about educational sector next time when I come back. I'll talk about it, and let's say research, explore, and discover. Yours to discover. That's Canada to you. Our plate says yours to discover. My brothers and my sisters, I'm gonna let you go now, and we'll keep talking about this issue as we go along. Let's find a way to survive in this part of the world. Ghana is not going to be fixed right now, so we have to find a way to, just be part of the benefits in this part of the world. May God bless you all. I will see you another time. Blessed.